Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Nikki. I am a homeschool mom to an only child in 3rd grade. Today I have a video for you of us doing a lesson with our language arts from the Good and the Beautiful level 3. So you're going to follow along with us and see how we do a lesson in this curriculum. If that is something that interests you, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell for future videos of mine, and let's just get into it. So if you're new around here, we've used the Good and the Beautiful language arts for 4 years, this being our 4th year. And we did a whole podcast episode on the Good and the Beautiful, which I can link down below, but I don't want to repeat myself too much. But basically, the reason I'm not overly a fan of it anymore is because my child is a very strong reader. She's above average, and so the phonics is super heavy in the Good and the Beautiful language arts in, I think, up to level 3. So it's a lot of skipping on our end, I feel like. But you know, she requested to do that this year. So I didn't know if we were going to stick with it or not, but we are, and we're still skipping things. We have a separate spelling curriculum, so we do not do the spelling. And she likes how they incorporate art and geography and all of those things. Basically, we do 1 lesson, 4 lessons a week, and that works for us. So I also bought the book pack that goes along with the Good and the Beautiful level 3. And so we are reading Heather and the Highland Pony. And we are on lesson 66 today. So we're going to be working on spelling rule plural nouns today. So I'm going to flip this camera around and we're going to read chapter 5, and then we're going to dive into the lesson. All right. Chapter 5.
Chapter 5, Silver Spoons. A slender beam of sunlight pierced through a gap in the barn's stone wall and landed on Heather's face, causing her to squint and stir from her dream. The children had stayed in the barn much longer than Heather had intended because the rain had not let up all afternoon or evening. When the storm continued even after it grew dark outside, they reluctantly decided to stay the night.
Reluctantly?
Curled up on a fluffy pile of hay, they had been grateful for shelter but anxious about being caught. Still, the exhausted siblings had fallen asleep within minutes. Now Heather sat up, looking around the barn. The dusty, dim light fell on a neat row of wood crates lining the wall behind Bonnie, who was sleeping, standing up. Heather stretched and then stood and walked over to the crates. They were filled with all sorts of fruits, vegetables, potatoes, carrots, apples, peas, turnips, and more. Heather realized then how hungry she was.
Continued to either whistle or hum the whole time. Heather began to feel like the crofter would never go back into his house when, to her horror, he began to push the loaded cart straight toward the barn. Heather and Archie Gaston rushed quietly to the dark corner behind Bonnie. A moment later, the barn door swung wide open. So if you're unfamiliar with the Good and the Beautiful books, they are just that. They are beautiful. Their illustrations are very well done. And so these are split into the student portion, which is spaced a little bit apart, and the teacher portion. And so each chapter you're reading together. And then at the end of each chapter or beginning of the next one, they have the phonics. This is typically what we skip, or I just have her read the words because I don't know. If she knows how to read it, I don't think the phonics is necessary. All right, so let's get into the lesson. Okay, so this is lesson 66 that we're doing. We have already completed that, and now we're completing the lesson. So this is the new rule. So we don't use the app all the time, so I like that it has the app option where you can listen or you can just read through the lesson. So that's kind of nice. So if you can get out, actually I'll just give you one, a blank sheet of paper. So plural nouns usually make a noun plural by adding s, but you're going to add es to make words plural that end with sh, ch, z, x, or s. So I'm going to have you write words out to me that end in sh, ch, z, x, or s, okay? And you're going to make them, these are the plural word, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Branches.
Mm-hmm.
Write it. Good. Marshes. Yep. Good. Boxes. Now we're going to use any other ending. Stars. Farms. And barns. Okay, now I want you to spell some words out loud. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Few.
F-E-W.
Blue.
B-L-U-E.
Blue as in I blew a candle out.
Oh, B-L-E-W.
Good. Drew. I drew something on paper.
D-R-E-W.
Good. Grew. I grew a garden.
G-R-O-E-W.
Grew. Try again.
G-R-O-O-E-W.
No O's.
G-R-E-W.
Yep. Now, I want you to write this sentence. Let's wrap the gift on Wednesday. So that is the whole entire lesson right here. It literally takes us maybe
What is it again?
The sentence is, let's wrap the gift on Wednesday.
Okay.
It literally takes us like 15 minutes typically to do a lesson, and then the rest of it is independent work. So we don't use the spelling practice book, so we don't do that. So that is the lesson. Then she's gonna finish her sentence, which she did. Let's wrap the gift on Wednesday, and she punctuated correctly. So this, she's gonna work on irregular past tense on the bottom, and then she has homophones and contractions to do on her own, and then that is it. There's this little journal writing prompt, and then after school with Mom, she reads anyway, so we don't pay attention to personal reading. So that is an entire lesson in our language arts. Now, some can be a little bit longer or shorter. Let's see, this week we had kind of a longer one. It was a couple pages. This was a literature study, and then it had some independent, like 3 pages of independent work, but they're pretty much broken up so that it's not a ton, and then there's a geography as well. So I feel like the lessons are paced well, they're spread out well. They have kind of switched things up well. The only thing I don't love is that the books that we read with the units, they don't correspond with the lessons typically. There's no like comprehension, there's no tie-ins to the book that we read. So we still read them, but I don't understand the point of having them read with these lessons and then there's nothing tied into the lesson. So I'm not sure if we're going to continue The Good and the Beautiful for grade 4. I have some other things in mind that I want to do for next school year, but it has worked for us and we've catered it to our homeschool. So I'm not afraid of skipping things and, you know, only doing things that work for us or that I know she may need extra help in or whatnot. So that is it, my friends. If you do not know, The Good and the Beautiful is free K through, I think, 8th on their website for language arts. So you can get a free PDF or you could purchase the physical book, whatever is your preference. I went with the PDF this year just because I wasn't sure we were going to stick with it. And then we are, so I'm like, well, I have it and we might as well just use the PDF. So that completes the end of this video. Please hit that subscribe button down below. That will help out my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.